Think back to a time before our most prized possessions were our cell phones, our laptops, or our cars. Think back to an earlier time in America when beautiful objects were rare and their owners treasured them dearly. From the early 17th century to the late 19th century, the wealthiest of Americans decorated their homes in elegant, ornate styles abandoned in modern times. Today, many of these antiques would surely be long forgotten by the general public if not for a visionary Southern woman named Ima Hogg. Miss Hogg was part of a wealthy Texas oil family whose Houston estate was known as Bayou Bend.
Well, Ima Hogg was born in 1882 in a small East Texas town. She was born into a family that loved learning, nature, and heritage. She was fortunate enough to be the daughter of the first native-born governor of Texas, and from the age of 9 to 13, she lived in the Texas Governor's Mansion in Austin. Her favorite story was that she slept in the bed that was once used by Sam Houston, a legendary Texas hero and former governor of Texas. She was surrounded by history in the Texas Governor's Mansion. Ima Hogg was highly regarded by her peers. She was friends with the most important collectors of antiques in America, and they declared her collection one of the top 3 in the world. Ima Hogg was admired by civic leaders, philanthropists, and those who cared a lot about preservation and heritage. In fact, the National Trust for Historic Preservation gave her their highest honor, the Crown and Shield Award.
Even as a child, Ima was enchanted with objects from the past. Soon after she bought her first American antique, a Queen Anne armchair in 1920, her passion for collecting early American art and antiques became a lifelong obsession. Fervently collecting antiques with the intention of one day giving them to a public museum, it was Ima's hope that the objects would help connect her fellow Texans to America's early heritage. The extensive collection includes decorative art, including furniture, silver, and ceramics, and fine art, such as paintings, prints, and sculptures. Room by room, Ima filled Bayou Bend with these treasures, revealing early American lifestyles from the colonial period through the Civil War.
The objects in the collection are organized and presented in a way that they can be interpreted. For instance, in this particular room, we organized a group of objects that represent the different cabinet-making schools in early America. One might not think of there being distinct differences, but just as there are regional dialects, the designs, the construction details, even the secondary woods, the woods that aren't visible, vary from region to region.
In 1957, Ima donated Bayou Bend and all of the treasures inside it to the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston. The 14-acre estate, now known as Bayou Bend Collection and Gardens, is an oasis of nature and beauty in the heart of the city. While walking the grounds, visitors are transported back in time to a quieter era of Southern elegance and charm.
A visit to the gardens at Bayou Bend is really relaxing with water features, garden pathways taking you through all of the 9 acres of cultivated space that we have. Get to experience nature with wildlife as birds and squirrels and maybe an occasional rabbit. In the springtime, obviously, is beautiful with azaleas and camellias blooming. All year round is beautiful with the many different varieties of trees and native plant material that we have.
Bayou Bend is a unique place where visitors come into contact with objects that were actually made and used by people 200 or 300 years ago. It's really like a window into the past, where visitors can learn about American history from the colonial era to the federal period up to the 100th anniversary of the founding of our nation in 1876. And people actually refer to it not only as a museum, but as an American treasure.
Today, Bayou Bend is widely regarded as one of the world's greatest collections of American decorative arts and paintings, and one of the most important gardens in the South. Ima Hogg would surely be proud that her legacy lives on, and that Bayou Bend is as treasured today as it was the day she bought her first American antique. Bayou Bend's collection and gardens continues to grow in the spirit of Ima Hogg. Through generous donations, the Bayou Bend collection has swelled an astounding 30% since Miss Hogg's death in 1975.
The collection continues to evolve as Ms. Hogg envisioned it, and in many instances through gift or purchase, objects are added that are perhaps better examples than were in the collection, or introduce a new concept or interpretation, such as the role of women in early American society. I think Bayou Bend, like most museums, there's an effort to improve the aesthetics and interpretation of the collection.
Known as Houston's home for America's treasures, Bayou Bend is a popular attraction for those fascinated by decorative arts, American history, or anyone just looking for a beautiful change of scenery. The lush gardens at Bayou Bend are meticulously landscaped with eye-popping bursts of color from its organically maintained blooms.
Bayou Bend Gardens are a big draw in the springtime for the flowering shrubs and trees, and all year long for the many events that are geared towards families to come enjoy the relaxing atmosphere.
Bayou Bend relies on the continued support of its benefactors and volunteers to keep Ima Hogg's vision alive.
Bayou Bend is a very important cultural and historic institution, not only for Houston and Texas, but for the entire nation. It is a bridge into our American heritage, which is so important for the public, especially school children, to learn today.
Come visit Bayou Bend, the bridge to an American heritage that unites us all. Visit us online at mfah.org/BayouBend.